I'm here with Ron from Edmonton. Ron, what are you doing here? What do you do in Edmonton? Because I know we've corresponded by email.
Well, I've lived in Edmonton all my life, and I garden there, and now I run a business called The Urban Farmer, which helps other people to explore ways for growing food in the urban environment.
You've got a great website.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, so part of my vision is to help provide education to people who want to start growing food, whether that's in traditional sort of annual vegetable gardens, or who want to look at other ways to include edible species into their landscape, fruit trees, herb gardens, berries, however they can create a beautiful environment that is also producing food.
And you wrote a great article for Canadian Organic Growers, is I think how Sharon first spotted you, and it really put everything in place very nicely.
Oh yeah, it's great. I find that there's just a lot coming together in many respects these days. There's a lot of interest in eating locally again. There's a lot of interest in people sort of reconnecting with where their food comes from and soils, and maybe there's been a generation or two where that's really fallen away, but I feel like there's a strong hunger for that reconnection, and that sort of expresses itself in a lot of different ways. And for some people that is learning how to garden again and to grow some of their own food, so it's great to be a part of that.
If you can just give us a quick précis on one of your customers, what they ask for.
Okay, one came to mind immediately. So this is a duplex in Edmonton, professional couple, and with their partners on the other side, they wanted to turn a very unhealthy lawn, a landscape that was experienced more as a burden than anything else for them, into an environment that would attract lots of wildlife, birds, butterflies, insects, and also provide food resources for themselves and their families. So we explored a variety of design possibilities for that to kind of meet the functional needs of that yard, but looked at bringing in a lot of native species, berry-producing species, many of those berries edible by people, like saskatoons and pin cherries, choke cherries, but also great food for wildlife. So we incorporated many of those. We did a small annual vegetable garden bed, but not a sort of rectangle in the back corner. It was integrated in a more creative sort of shape in a part of the landscape that's accessible to the kitchen. We created a bit of an herb spiral garden.
They're getting the full meal deal.
They wanted it all. It was a lot of fun, and they're super excited. They called me and were telling me about the different birds they've already seen in their yard after only a few months that they hadn't seen before. So that's always exciting as well.
Now I'm going to try and link to your website. Just what is the website?
It's www.theurbanfarmer.ca.
Thanks so much, Ron.
Okay.